Today on Tout Bouts Talk, the best Fantasy Elimination Chamber matches. Superstars return, but where are they heading? The Rock's Super Bowl ad, extended cut. All this and more on today's Tout Bouts Talk.
To the Chambers.
Tag team talk.
Boom! Boom!
And we're talking about chamber matches.
Chambers, the best fantasy chamber matches you could think of.
Absolutely.
And the first one we're going to start with, the All Dead Chamber. Christian... Stupid ass.
Read the words right
Yeah.
there. Take two. Take two.
Take dose.
Take two.
Dose. Alberto Del Rio is the world heavyweight champion. We got to start speaking some Spanish, right?
No. My name's Carlos and I don't fucking speak Spanish. We don't need to do that.
Best fantasy chamber matches.
Of all time, the Elimination Chamber coming up, we want to know what is the best type of chamber matches, type of wrestlers from different eras, all pitted together in combat inside the Steel Chamber. The first chamber is...
The Dead Chamber, including Chris Benoit, Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Owen Hart, Mr. Perfect, Eddie Guerrero, and the 7th Phantom member, Jerry the King Lawler.
He's just going to pop in real quick to enter the contest, and as they bring him back to life, he was dead for like 46 seconds, so officially he was dead, but then he's just going to kind of disappear.
Who's the first one eliminated, Gerbs?
First one eliminated there is... Shit, I forgot.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
And the winner?
Macho Man. We have Macho Man written down here. We talked about this. It was a close decision. Some people actually picked Chris Benoit to win, the murderer. But
Well, if he kills everybody.
It is an elimination chamber.
All right, next.
The Extreme Elimination Chamber. Extreme Rules. Elimination Chamber. Rumble.
The next chamber is the All Monster
We're just going to leave
Chamber.
it on that.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it on
talking
that.
about Macho Man winning the
You
chamber.
want to go see the full talk, go click on the other video on the YouTube channel. The Monster Chamber is Undertaker versus Kane versus Kevin Nash / Diesel versus Yokozuna versus Vader versus Bam Bam Bigelow. First one eliminated, Gerbs?
Is Yokozuna by Undertaker and Kane.
Winner? Of course,
Of the Monster Chamber, it's got to be The Undertaker.
the greatest of all time, The Undertaker.
We're not going to give it to Kevin Nash. Yokozuna's already gone. Bam Bam Bigelow isn't going to win when Lawrence Taylor can beat him. Vader's going to be in the right at the end with Kane and Undertaker. That would be a great three-way chamber ending, but Undertaker beats all. Undertaker, the monster.
Our next chamber, my personal favorite, it's the Best in the World Chamber. CM Punk versus Bret the Hitman Hart versus Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid versus Chris Jericho versus Edge versus Kurt Angle. First one eliminated?
Edge via Sweet Chin Music into Codebreaker.
And the winner?
Edge is definitely going to be the first one to go. Man, great match. Clearly, it's for the best in the world, but Chris Jericho wins overall. He just has the first undisputed champion. He's still got it after all those years. He never lost it. And
I never lost it, baby!
even over Punk and Hart, even Hart and Jericho alone, that would be a freaking dream match. But have all these guys in one chamber. Jericho has the experience with the chambers in addition to coming up in this whole era. So Jericho, hell yeah, best in the world.
All right, next is our Legends Chamber. The Icon Sting versus Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Roddy Piper.
I got nothing.
First one to eliminate?
To watch all chamber conversation, go to YouTube and watch one of our many videos that we don't have time to edit, put together for the show. Enjoy this shit. Next up, the ultimate barrage.
So, my ultimate tout's about the Barrett Barrage and how much I suck. I'm a marine biologist, a bare-knuckle boxer, and I can't beat Bo Dallas. I'm an intercontinental champion, and I lose to Randy Orton. And my bullhammer is an extension of sucking. And in all actuality, you couldn't win a match in the last 2 months if you tried. The Intercontinental Championship was put on you for no reason. Your character has gone nowhere. You should be in the chamber, but you're struggling with some NXT kid who sucks. So let's just get this straight. Win a match, change your gimmick, do whatever you can, but right now, you're boring, you're dried up, and your barrage is a little stupid! What a fucking match, bro. Are we capturing video? Has it started yet?
Yeah, I thought you were still doing your Barrett Barrage.
My Barrett Barrage fucking sucks.
They just named his scar. Like they were explaining how the Scar Wars. Yeah, we were talking about Barrett's his back history on his scar, where he was like in a backroom brawl.
Yeah,
and whatever he won a match, lost a match, whatever it was. The legend behind the scar. Yet I can't beat Bo Dallas with my fucking bullhammer.
Somehow I'm the Intercontinental Champion, and I can't win a match in 5 months.
That Bo Dallas is one tough nut to crack.
We're out of milk.
Mister, up there.
I'm sorry, honey. Gotta go.
Don't you ever be sad. Lean on me. Times are bad.
Milk. Ladies, gotta go to work.
Never suck a stripper's titties while she's lactating.
I can't put that in the fucking video, dude. It would fucking kill me if I just knew I told you. Oh,
Sorry, just cut that out. Cut!
That's a good outtake. It's good words of advice, too. You know, they should
Top Bounce words of
fucking
advice.
warning somewhere on fucking either right or left titty. Or
Don't wear your
middle,
shirt
either
backwards to a TV taping. Don't suck on a lactating stripper's nipples.
It's just one of those surprises during your day you don't expect.
Don't scuff another man's pumas, you know.
If you want a shot, you can get one at the bar.
What is that, milk?
Cut.
Break the wall. Break down the walls. Foot down with the back to rock. And watch the walk. Baby, you know you're Judas. And I'm your priest. Baby, what I got is not from
Chris Jericho. Welcome back, Y2J. Welcome back. Not worthy. Not worthy. Awesome. Chris Jericho came back.
He can come back whenever he wants. He wants to be the very first rock star / the high profile WWE superstar, and he's doing a great job at it. He's very unique. There is nobody else like Chris Jericho.
How about we've never seen a superstar come and go as he pleased and never lose beat? How about that? Even Undertaker, you know, he is what he is, but he got slower. Jericho hasn't gotten slower.
No, he's aging very well, and he's putting on phenomenal matches. The matches with him and Punk on Monday night made Raw really great. The match is phenomenal. I can watch it all day. It had absolutely everything you can want in a match. It was a pay-per-view style match if it were a little bit longer, and if they didn't take a fucking commercial break during the match. Let's not take a commercial break when Maddox or Cena's involved in the big yappy yap last 15 minutes of Raw. But let's go ahead and take a commercial break during Punk and Jericho. Guess what, WWE? Some people actually want to watch the wrestling in World Wrestling Entertainment.
For what The Rock
Prematurely
does,
touted.
Jericho does the complete opposite. The Rock comes back to sell a few T-shirts to you know, wow the fans and electrify the stadium. Jericho does all that by not doing what The Rock does, and he actually puts on wrestling matches. When people see Jericho, people think of wrestling. You just can't get any better than that. We talk about him all the time.
I think it's because he's the best in the world. He won a chamber match
The
in our
best in
fantasies.
the world at everything he does.
Man of 1,004 holes.
Armbar! Dragon armbar! Szechuan arm drag. Dude is hilarious.
So, but Jericho, as far as we already know that it's going to be, he's not going to be here forever. He's not trying to.
What is he here
do anything
for? I guess is the major question.
Well, to
And
me, to perform and to put over Dolph Ziggler.
is it just Dolph Ziggler? Is
I
he
mean,
gonna put up-
anybody. I would love to see
I
Jericho
think-
and Cody Rhodes. Actually had a great match with ADR, even though it was short on Monday night. But Jericho and Rhodes would have a great little rivalry.
See, I think every time he comes back, it's going to be a different reason. And I think last time it was to push over Punk and give Punk the push into this whole like the Rock and Royal Rumble and heel scene. I think that was a good jettison on your way. And I think this time he's here to dominate. And then he'll leave, and then he'll come back, and then he'll lose and give somebody else a push who needs it. And then he'll leave, and then he'll come back, and then he's going to dominate. And then his last domination tour will probably be the last of it until he's in the Hall of Fame.
All right. So Jericho, let me know that he's back for. I remember being out. I just never.
Add Gorilla. Mother, add Gorilla.
Why are you talking about gorillas, Steve?
Because I'm not racist. Oh, fuck, you segment that shit before
Let's
you
go,
get me going. Fuck you, man.
We're talking about Mark Henry.
I drew the shit card and got Mark Henry.
Oh man. Well, you loved him. You just said you loved Mark Henry.
Shit card. That was horrible. Yeah.
Sexual chocolate melts your mind.
Holy shit. Alright, so we're talking about returning superstars, and I drew the Mark Henry card. And after watching him dominate people smaller than me, I felt a little uneasy about walking down a dark alley at night. What is Mark Henry returning for? He definitely looked good in the ring, world's strongest, slamming the crap out of Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, and just decimating and throwing these people around like they're dolls. But he's obviously coming back to give Ryback a big push. And to see Ryback do the shell shock to Mark Henry might help seal the deal for him, even though none of us here will think that. But he's going to have a main part in the main show. I'm not too excited about Sexual Chocolate. He needs to melt away like the Wicked Witch of the West at some point. But he's good for Be a Star, and they'll keep giving him and rewarding him for that. So that's about it. He sucks, really, other than that. The best thing you ever did was have Big Show put you through a ring. And the Big Show really sucks.
Yeah, you're talking about Jack Swagger.
Alright, also returning back to wrestling is Jack Swagger, who before he left, I really didn't like. Starting to like him a little bit better. The guy looks like Biff. He's got a new edgier black robe thing going on, a little beard action. I think he's going to be the next contender to beat Antonio Cesaro. He claims that no American can beat him. And who else is there but the All-American American to beat him? He made easy work of Santino. He'll probably end up beating Barrett and maybe Sheamus and taking out the rest of Great Britain. Hopefully on to Cesaro in Switzerland. There you go. European champion.
The Swagger Report, brought to you by Candy Ass. We're talking about returning superstars and the return of the destroying force that is Brock Lesnar. Already instantly shot into main event status. Yeah, he's beating up Miz right now, but he already broke the boss, Vince. He's here to wreck things up a little bit. His return is definitely going to have more immediate and more entertaining results than, say, Jericho, who I think's in here for a little bit for a while, but that's for the next guy to talk about. Sorry. Definitely bigger impact than Henry and Swagger. Definitely Brock Lesnar is here to bring the pain and bring some pretty good rivalries right up until WrestleMania. See him in one of those main events, maybe against a Punk or a Rock or an Undertaker. And all the other people returning.
Baby!
Jack Swagger's segment, amazingly, the shortest one.
Who would have thought?
Could that be saying something for Swagger's future? The
God.
top of the mid card.
I mean, obviously Lesnar's important, but is he as important as Chris Jericho will ever be? I mean, is Lesnar going to get the pop that Chris Jericho got at Royal Rumble? Is Lesnar ever going to get the pop the first
not what he's in
time
it for.
Jericho came in? No, of course it's not what he's in it for. But I'm just saying, when you think about all the people who are returning and who are rumored to return, I mean, Chris Jericho, man, what a goddamn show stealer that guy is.
All I know is he came back the last 2 times and he F5'd Vince and he destroyed Miz's set, even hit Miz in the head with the chair.
That was awesome.
It was phenomenal. The segment was completely dying until Brock showed up, which is obvious. So, hey, bring back more Brock. But he's the same thing. Even if he signs on for 2 years.
Yeah, that's another thing about Lesnar.
It's still going to be the
is
same
that-
thing. He'll
yeah.
wrestle for a little bit, and then he'll just stop doing what he's doing. They'll bring him back as necessary.
And Lesnar will never be reinvented the way Jericho has been reinvented.
And you're talking about Jericho wrestling until he was going to retire in the Hall of Fame. Mark Henry's back to instantly do
That same thing. Yeah.
same thing. But he's actually a little further along. He's going to end up winning a championship soon, I think.
I don't know about that. I think he's going to be a stepping stone for somebody else to win the championship.
He's going to beat somebody.
First
Mark
black
Henry's coming
WWE
back.
champion.
No, not Mark Henry.
World heavyweight, maybe not. Maybe they will. Maybe they will in order to prove that they are not racist.
Yeah, but why give it to Mark Henry?
Can you imagine after all the years,
Kofi
after the Ron
Kingston?
Simmons and what? Yeah, Kofi.
How are you going to give
Kofi's
it?
not going to win the WWE.
How are you going to give it to
champion.
Mark Henry over Ron Simmons? And the only explanation for that is that you gave it to the guy that you made and not the guy that everybody else
Exactly.
made.
It wasn't Ron Simmons. It was Farouk. It was a character. We're back on the race again. This is going to be a very politically charged help out stock.
So, this is kind of like an editorial thing or whatever. I've been claiming that the WWE and Vince McMahon is uber racist for not giving a black man the championship with the likes of people like Farouk and Mark Henry and Kofi Kingston and Ahmed Johnson and the company. And recently, Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock, went all about how his son and him have done everything to transcend why that Rocky's not considered a black champion. Let's just get something clear. Rocky's not considered a black champion is because everybody considers him Samoan. Half the people don't realize he's black. Just because his last name Johnson
He's half black.
doesn't necessarily mean that he's black. And granted, he is black, half black, and we're all cool with that. Our president's black. There's really not much.
He's not. He's half black too.
They're black. You can't,
That's the thing, though. You
but you
don't
can't-
look at The Rock as being black when he's half black,
Right,
but
so-
you immediately look at Barack Obama as being black.
But
right?
see,
Isn't The Rock?
I don't really consider. I don't care what color they are.
Although he's Dominican.
I don't think.
He
I
talks
think-
like a Mexican.
I think it's easy. I think it's easy to look past The Rock being black because of how celebrated his Samoa tradition is. I don't think it's easy to look past the first African or half African American president because he's the first time a black man with the name of Hussein's been elected. It's easy to confuse these things. But the truth is, The Rock, Rocky Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever the hell you want to call yourself is, while you may be half black, the only thing that you've done in support of that is join the Nation of Domination, a bunch of heels. So, of course, we're not going to celebrate the fact that you're the only WWE black champion.
Owen Hart was in the Nation of Domination. He's very white.
Oh, my God. He's Canadian. That's
On top of it all.
that's about as minority as you get nowadays.
They're like Northern blacks.
but
They're Canadians.
To be honest, The Rock is a product of Vince McMahon, and that's the only
Do
reason
they have
why he's
African
got the
Canadians? Like they have African Americans.
They have
Do
Russian
they have-
Jewish people.
Well, yeah, no, but that's different. That's
Is it?
There's got to be African.
African Americans, African Canadians.
How about
You've
a
never
Palis-
heard that term? African
French people
Canadian.
had slaves too.
I think other countries just don't talk about
Too soon?
things like that.
Yeah, see, so why do we have it here? Do you know why? Because we think of our president as black and our Rocky wrestler as white or Samoan or, as Gerby says, Puerto Rican.
It's definitely not Mike Tenay or Taz or anybody
It's
from.
just be shorter to make a list of the people you do like instead of listing the people you don't like. We know you don't like Mark Henry. We know you don't like the Big
CM
Show.
Punk.
You don't
That's
like
all
the
I like.
Barrett Barrage.
I actually like Barrett. I'm just really disappointed in what they're doing with this character. I think he has the makings to be a top heel. But other than that, in closing, we're on the road to WrestleMania. We did our chamber. We're going to be talking about Mania for the next couple weeks. We're probably going to do something different every week for that. More Ultimate Touts, more editorials, more TNA talk, even though right now it's kind of useless with WrestleMania coming up. And definitely bashing The Rock more often. And we need you to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Subscribe to us on YouTube and tout so I can get my ass powerbombed through a table. Other than that,
Steve talks too much.
he always talks too much.
Derby talks too little.